Christopher Bennett is one of the younger guests on PSI TV, and I am so stoked. Why? Because it's exciting to know that we're reaching another audience demographic. And Christopher, aka Taz Dha Hooligan, is a young and upcoming artist on the talent scene, particularly the music scene. And he's been writing music since a tender age of 6. And now, as a young adult, he has set his eyes on a huge adventure. And he's here on PSI TV right at the launch of this new career. And I'm asking you, all of you watching here, to help lift the next generation, help lift Chris Bennett, Taz the Hooligan, as they find their way in this crazy adventure called life.
You are watching Influence Media, PSI TV, the Netflix of biz brands.
Welcome, Chris.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity of being here.
Chris, do you prefer Chris or Taz? Where would you prefer me to call you?
Most of the people call me Chris from like childhood, but a lot of people now call me Taz. So it depends on how you're
Let's
feeling.
call you Taz for the rest of the interview. We'll call you Taz. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Taz, many young people your age are still trying to figure themselves out. And for a lot of them, they're very unclear about their purpose, their passion, or even what they're going to do with themselves, their career path. It seems like you've figured out your space in the world. Tell us about, what was that whole process for you?
So the whole process for me was really when I was a kid, my mom would have me either doing instruments like the violin, guitar, and sports like soccer and basketball. So it was really a conflict between what I really wanted to do, because I did
Mhm.
fall in love with music at a young age, but also I fell in love with playing sports. And that really made a conflict where I'm struggling between both.
Well, you're multi-talented, so you can do both, but mentioning that sports and the music, it's not really possible to blend them. Do you see yourself maybe putting some music lyrics about sports in the future?
That's why I'm in the near future, I'm trying to blend it all together. Like throughout the music, I will have different points and like topics about like different sports or just have like different lyrics for sports in there. I'm still working on it. It's still a process for that. So once in the future I have it all together, we will see if it's blended in together how I want it, how I picture it.
Another thing you could do is to do your music videos on in a sports experience type thing.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
another good way to go. Now, Taz, COVID-19 changed the world in many, many ways. It was a downtime for a lot of people. It seems like you use that time to write your music. Just tell us about how much music did you write? What was that whole downtime like for you?
So when COVID first started, I was working at a restaurant. Then when COVID hit, we won't going back to work. So we had to find something to do. A lot of people couldn't go out the house and work. So with me, I stayed in the house. I was really doing more like a cappella music, but I was writing out the lyrics just in case I found an instrumental. I could put that together and make the song happen. But I believe I wrote around 496, 98 songs around that time. But it was really hard because sometimes I would get bored, but I kept pushing myself. And it really kept me sane through that time without being able to hang out with my friends in person and really like with human interaction with just only like my family in the house. So it really kept me sane for real.
So you said you've written about 498 or so. How many songs do you have for this launch release?
For this launch release, I feel like it's about 4 or 5 more singles I'm gonna put out because I already have a single out that I put out a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago. I got to check back at the analytics, but I am planning to have my first album released once I get those songs together.
Okay, so you have a single. What's the name of that single that we can go check out?
The single that y'all could go check out is called No Get Back by Taz the Hooligan.
No Get Back by Taz the Hooligan. Taz right there. So Taz, what genre of music, what kind of music is it? Is it classical? Is it hip hop? Is it rap? Is it what kind of music are you making?
My music falls under the line of hip hop and rap,
Hip
but
hop
it's
and rap.
something to carry over to many different genres.
Okay. So while it's tempting to think music is for everybody, there's really that particular kind of music is definitely going to attract a certain type of audience. So would you say that the lyrics you're writing are kid friendly or are they more adult related?
The lyrics are more so for adults that really understand what's happening in the music, because every one of my songs will be able to tell a story. So you could either watch the video when it's out, or you could just use your imagination to be creative with it.
Okay, so no explicit. Well, you are saying it would be some explicit content, so it's more adult. Like, all right, okay, okay.
Where these niggas at? They need to stop hiding and get their shit back. Fuck that, let's go, we go sliding. They ain't getting no get back. Give all my niggas some bread. I told them niggas go ahead and flip that. Both here, full pocket stuff. I'm coming home with a big sack.
So, what would you say to the young and upcoming artists that, I mean, you're doing it, you're amazing. You're putting yourself out there. What would you say to the young artist that's coming up, probably has a couple things they've written, drawn, whatever, but they're just scared to put it out there to the world. What would you say to that person?
I would have to say to that person or group of individuals, go for it and don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. And always
Because
have
they're,
a strong team behind you because they
yeah,
will make it happen.
yeah, and I mean there will be critics, but so what, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what? All right. So Taz, where do you see yourself in the next, say, 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself with my own group for a label, which will be my own label, and also signed to a deal that has me really in control of everything creative. When I want to release my songs, what I want to do with them, all that in a good package. So,
What about merch and stuff to go along with your stuff?
merchandise, I believe that there will be merchandise in the next couple of years. It's just in the process of me really getting all this together so that I can make it happen.
Right, guys, because Taz is doing this right at the launch of his career. He's coming out with a bang. That's it's not, he's doing it big because a lot of young people, and I can speak from experience, a lot of young people, myself included, when I was coming out, I was so scared to put myself out there. I was really scared, especially to be on video. But he's coming out hard, he's coming out strong. We definitely want to support that. And you mentioned it, you're from Philly. Tell us a little bit about that Philly music scene, man.
Okay, so I've moved up here about 2, 3 years ago. I'm originally from Newark, New Jersey, but I lived in North Carolina. It's a little bit of a jumpy timeline, but with that, the Philly music scene is very it's very different from what I'm used to and what I've been hearing. So it's really diverse because they take stuff from, well, I'm not gonna say take, I'm gonna say they are inspired by Chicago, New York, Jersey, Maryland, Detroit, and they put it all to one. So it's
So,
really like unique in a sort of way.
so who exactly is Christopher Bennett, aka Taz the Hooligan? Who are you? Tell us who the real Taz the Hooligan is.
Yes, ma'am. Taz Dha Hooligan, aka Christopher Bennett, is a young Black African American that is 24 years old that loves to relax, watch movies, chill, hang out with people. And when I go into the studio, I just lock in, I'm focused, I go hard in the paint, like Waka Flocka says.
Is there anything else you'd like to share?
Yes, ma'am. For those individuals not only doing music, but just want to put different stuff out there, don't be scared to do it. Just go for it. Because you may never know who your audience is and who you may attract that really likes your quality of work. It don't matter if it's art, music, dance, if it's funny videos, if it's YouTube. if you're a content creator, it doesn't really matter. As long as you enjoy it and those people enjoy it, that's all that matters.
So put yourself out there. Put yourself out. That's what Chris is telling you. Go do it. Go do it. Trust. Chris is invested in his dream, guys. He is here because he is investing in his dream. He's written his music. He's sharing that with the world. He's sharing what's in his heart with you, with the rest of the world. And he has come out with a bang. He's come out with this launch, and he really wants the world to know not only that he exists, not only that his music exists, but he is bringing some joy to the world with his music and giving it real, giving some real life stuff. So we want you to go check out Taz the Hooligan. He has a release out. We're going to send you over to his Instagram handle. I will put it out there for you, but it is Taz Dha Hooligan. So if you go over to Instagram, it's Taz Dha. We'll put it there for you. And you check out Christopher Bennett, Taz the Hooligan on Instagram. Christopher, thank you so much for being our guest today.
Yes, ma'am. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.